talked about the quarterback room. Now we're going to talk about the Colts running backs. We're going to start from the bottom tier, work our way up to who is listed on the top. We all know who that is, but we're going to start with Evan Hull, the rookie out of Northwestern, to begin the video. First, I'd like to welcome you to the JDW SportsTalkShow, where every fan is welcome. If you enjoy NFL, Colts news, all that type of stuff, this is the place for you to stick around. Make sure you like, subscribe, put that post notification bell on so you don't miss any future videos like this. We will be going through every single position group for the Indianapolis Colts. We did the quarterback room the other day. We're doing the running back room now. Let's not waste too much more of your time. All right, we have Evan Hull, starting number 4, the rookie out of Northwestern. I think he's going to be a pretty good receiving back if he makes a roster. Him and Deon Jackson are both going to fight for a third roster spot. Are they going to keep 4 running backs? That's kind of the first question you ask here, because you have Deon Jackson, you have Evan Hull. It seems like those are 2 guys that are going to be fighting for a spot if they're really fighting for a spot, because they may keep 4. They may keep 4. But I think they might keep 3 this year, because they have so many good tight ends, so many young tight ends, that I think they would be better off sticking with the tight ends that they have right now. Sticking with more of those tight ends than the running backs. Yeah, you have some pretty damn good running backs as well, but you're top heavy. You know who your top 2 are. So let someone fight for that third, and then keep one more tight end than you usually do. Keep 4. 4 is usually normal. It's usually you keep 4 running backs for 4 tight ends, but yeah, I'd rather allocate that roster spot towards a tight end, especially for how impressive and how many young talents that we have in the room with tons of potential. Evan Hull. So I think he could be more of a receiving back, play a similar role. Whoever makes a roster at 3, unless there's 4, whoever makes a roster at 3 and 4, they will be receiving backs. More so receiving backs. Maybe change of pace a little bit, but we all know Jonathan Taylor and Zach Moss are 1 and 2. I like Deon Jackson, and you can't really say he's been in the system, but the advantage that he has is that he's been in the NFL for a couple of years now. He was undrafted out of Duke, and he is impressed. He has shown some nice traits. He works hard, great character, as both of these guys do. This whole running back room does. I think Deon Jackson's going to win this. Now, I really do like Evan Hull. He seemed like a nice, a nice little change of pace, receiving back. I was excited we drafted him. And, maybe that's why they they just let him take the spot over Deon Jackson, but that's not going to happen. It's whoever plays better in training camp that's just going to take it. But I'm just saying Deon Jackson does have that advantage that he's been in the NFL for a couple of years. What he doesn't have the advantage of anymore is being in the system for a couple of years, because Shane Steichen, completely different system from Frank Reich. I like Evan Hull. It was a good pick. I think it was a 5th or 6th round pick. It was good value, good pick. Going to add some competition to the bottom of the running back depth chart. Bring Deon Jackson some comp, make him work harder and work the hardest he's ever worked to keep that spot. So, yeah, Evan Hull, Deon Jackson, they're both kind of in a similar boat. I think Deon Jackson definitely has a little bit of an edge with his experience in that he has shown he's been good. But, at Northwestern, Evan Hull is a pretty damn solid receiving back, and a pretty good back in general, honestly. So, maybe you bring in the guy that can do both better, but I think Deon Jackson showed that he ran pretty well last year when he had the chance to. So, next we're going to move on to Zach Moss. So, I have to eat shit on this one. I was not excited for Zach Moss coming to Indianapolis. I was like, why would you trade Nyheim Hines for Zach Moss? Now, it's a little more clear. To begin with, Nyheim Hines kind of wanted to go elsewhere. He was sick of the old, it's next week, or, he was just tired of the same message week in, week out, year in, year out. He was tired of the same message. New quarterback. The locker room was lost. Nyheim felt it. He said, let me go somewhere else. I don't want to be here. This isn't the best spot for me at the moment. And we ended up trading him for Zach Moss, and I think we got a 6th out of it as well, a 5th or a 6th. So I was not happy about it at first because I'm like, Nyheim Hines is so dynamic. And, he's a decent runner. But Zach Moss kind of brings a different element to this team. And he really proved me wrong last year when he really got the chance to run a little bit. Vikings game, he had a serious workload, 24 carries, 80-some yards. It was really that last game where he had a decent amount of carries. I think it was 17. He had 118 yards. I think he had a touchdown. That was a really good game by him. And I think, the Colts offensive line got better as the year went on. No, it's not that I think. It did. It absolutely improved the second half of the season, by far, not even close. It was so much better. Not saying much, it was still struggling, but not as bad as it was in the beginning of the season. So, Zach Moss, he was good last year, considering, he had to step up in a rough situation. Passing game is never working. He played pretty well. I seen him bouncing off tackles, spinning around quite a bit, pushing through, pushing forward. I really liked what I saw out of Zach Moss, and I think he's a great back to have behind Taylor. Taylor's our number one end-all, be-all, does everything. Cowbell. I feel like I said that wrong. He's our lead cow. He's our lead back. I shouldn't have said cow. He's our lead back. But Moss, he's a great change of pace guy. He's a pummeler. He wants a contact. JT likes contact. But not like Zach Moss does. Zach Moss really takes it, and he just killed it. He killed it last year, so I'm excited to see Zach Moss get another year of the system under his belt because he came to the team midway through the year. He barely knew the playbook, and he impressed me. He impressed me last year. He made me eat donkey crap, so I'm really happy that he turned out pretty good. He proved me wrong. I like being proved wrong. You learn. You look at the situation, and, ultimately, that's why we love football. And then, last but not least, Jonathan Taylor. Lead back. We all know he's number one. If he can stay healthy, the offensive line is going to be average. Jonathan Taylor will rush for 1,000 yards. He will probably rush for 10 rushing touchdowns, have a few receiving touchdowns, have a couple 200-300 receiving yards. Pretty impressive back. The year, he was fully healthy. Offensive line was pretty damn good. JT showed what he was capable of, and he really carried the team, honestly, that year. It takes a lot more than one player, but honestly, without Jonathan Taylor, that offense with Carson Wentz would have no consistency. It wouldn't be anything. It wouldn't be much. I mean, consistency was still, an issue at times, but man, even though Jonathan Taylor was hurt for majority of the year last year, he still had, I think, 840-some rushing yards. So, yeah, for not playing as much, playing hurt some of the time, that's impressive. He had quite a few rushing touchdowns, and he fought. He never missed a practice, never missed a game in his entire football career, including high school and college until last year. So, is it a sign that he's about to, fall off a cliff and just never be the same like a Todd Gurley? His situation is very different from Todd Gurley, though. The Rams were very reckless with paying him because they knew his knee was horrible, yet they still paid him all that money. Zeke, whatever, it's weird. He just didn't play as well after he got paid. Yeah, we're not really talking about the contract situation too much. Just really Jonathan Taylor and the difference that he makes for the offense. Can't wait for Jonathan Taylor and Anthony Richardson in the same backfield with a decent offensive line. That might be enough to win 6 games right there. It might be. So we're going to have to see how Anthony Richardson develops. And Jonathan Taylor is crucial to Anthony Richardson's development. I think he's very important. He's going to help him in the run game. He's going to help defenses focus on JT and not fully Anthony Richardson. He's going to help our potentially future franchise quarterback quite a bit. He's a very important piece of this offense. He's a leader. He works his butt off. And he's just a great team player. He's an elite player. Elite. When healthy. Even in his rookie year, he was pretty good. Even in his rookie year, he was pretty damn good. He was third in the NFL in rushing yards. I think he had 11 rushing touchdowns. Still pretty impressive. For a year, he wasn't expected to come out right at the gate and start. Marlon Mack got injured. Jonathan Taylor stepped in. And wow, Jonathan Taylor took it. Rest is history. Hopefully, and I think it's going to be fine. I think the ankle is going to be taken care of. I've seen some people talking about that he wasn't practicing OTAs minicamp. They were playing it safe. They're saving him for the season. They're going to play him in training camp a bit, but you want to save your running back for the season. It's typical, It's a long season now, too. It's even longer, so you really want to preserve your best players. And if you're one of your most dynamic and elite players as a running back, in general, you want to save your running backs for how, for who Jonathan Taylor is and how good he is. Save him. Save him. Don't run him into the dirt in the offseason. It's just not smart. Not smart. So, Jonathan Taylor, man, this running back group in general is pretty impressive. From Jonathan Taylor being the lead back, a top 3 back when healthy, when firing on all cylinders, he's top 3 back, if not one. The only reason why I say he's not one is because he had that 1 year, that one elite year. Last year, injuries caught up with him. You got to call it how it is. When a player gets injured, you don't necessarily bump them down just because they got injured, but, other players are still playing. They're impressing. And it's just the way it works. But Jonathan Taylor, great lead back, as we all know, he's elite. And I will talk about his contract situation a little bit. I hope they pay him. I hope they give him a 4-year. I'd be okay with 15, 16 a year. Maybe a teensy bit more, tiny bit more. I'd be 100% with it because he would impact. I think he's going to have a huge impact on Anthony Richardson's development, as I have previously stated. You might as well lock him up while you're not paying Anthony Richardson an absorbent amount of money, an incredible amount of money. Right now, he's going to be on his rookie deal for 4 years, and you're going to tag him onto the 5th-year option, most likely. I would hope so if things go well. Why not pay Jonathan Taylor now to help the rest of this offense and just the development of the team in general? Jonathan Taylor's so damn important. And you know what? If you pay him 4 years, but he only plays 2 of the years, but he plays them at, a pretty damn good level to an elite level, I think you won the contract because, especially if Anthony Richardson ends up coming into his own, you're helping Anthony Richardson so much, drastically, with Jonathan Taylor. They make it so much more difficult for defenses. They're going to have to focus on the running game and just, them running alone is going to keep defensive coordinators up at night. Jonathan Taylor and Anthony Richardson. Just think of a backfield with, like, Lamar Jackson and Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, no one wants it. Imagine a backfield with Josh Allen and Jonathan Taylor. Well, you're kind of getting a mix with both of Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. And you're getting Jonathan Taylor with it? I mean, come on, man, come on. But let's be honest with ourselves. The Colts probably aren't going to make the playoffs. They probably aren't going to win the division. I think the Jaguars are going to be very good. The Titans are going to win some games just with their defense alone. But Texans, I guess we'll see. But let's get too far off the topic. I want you guys to let me know what you think about this running back group. As I said, Jonathan Taylor, you guy, he's elite. Pay him. Zach Moss, changed the pace back, made me eat crow, and I'm okay with being wrong. I have no problem with being wrong. You take it, you take it as it comes, and then you're gonna have Deon Jackson and Evan Hull fighting for third, or them just both being 3 and 4. Considering we have so many young tight ends with a ton of potential, I don't see 4 running backs. I see 3 running backs and 4 tight ends. But I guess time will tell. So that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for tuning in to the JDW Sports Talk Show. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, put the post notification bell on so you don't miss any future videos. This is JDW Sports Talk Show, signing off, football fam.